Well, hello and welcome. The situation across large parts of North India with regard to farm fires is now at a fairly apocalyptic level. And I thought what we'd do is a little bit talk about what the situation is at a time when Delhi has started to implement or will soon implement the odd even scheme. What is the odd even scheme? The odd even scheme pertains to vehicles with alternative number plates. So if the last digit is an odd number, the next day, a vehicle which will be allowed on the road will have an even number as its last digit. It's called the odd even scheme, and it comes into effect at a time when air in the national capital region reaches the critical level. And it's been that now for the last couple of days. It's going to be implemented a couple of days later. It's not going to be implemented immediately. So it's important that you watch NDTV, you read our reports, and you know about when it's going to actually come into effect. But the NASA satellite imagery coming off their Worldview platform, which actually incorporates data from a couple of important remote sensing satellites with incredibly high resolution sensors which detect fire events, is what I've been relying on. And I've actually been looking closely at a lot of the data from the 28th onwards, which measures and shows visually the farm fires in Punjab or any other area that you want to look at. So I thought I'd put them together as I speak about this important theme. But first, let's take a look at the overall image, the satellite image today of India. And as you can see, the large areas in this image are not of clouds. These are actually images of the smoke, which is now spread across the Indo-Gangetic plain, and it swings south right into Bengal before it heads out into the Bay of Bengal and down our peninsula. So the fires which started in Punjab have resulted in this haze. It's low lying, it's toxic, it's dangerous. It's PM 2.5 and PM 10, which is spread across Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, and Bengal, and as far down as parts of Telangana. So this entire haze that you see is actually not a cloud. It's the result of farm fires in Punjab. Further down in this image, you can actually see clouds which are really white and can be made out in that sense. The other image which is worth looking at is an image of the farm fires themselves in Punjab. And this is the image that I'm referring to over here. This farm fire image actually shows the number of fires which exist on the 5th, that is yesterday. And there are thousands of fires. There's been a dramatic increase in this over the last couple of days. And the question which people ask is that, look, is this really all about Punjab? What about farm fires elsewhere? And the fact of the matter is that if you look at the satellite data and you compare the number of farm fires which exist in Punjab over the last few days and in other states, the other states appear to be just a fraction or have just a fraction of the farm fires that Punjab does. And so we thought we'd actually share that with you as well, just to give you, an all India feel of the number of farm fires. And what you can see in the image which we've now got up is the farm fires in Punjab. You can see some farm fires in Western UP, just a handful, a few more in Northern MP, Northwestern Madhya Pradesh. But really, it's Punjab which is lit up completely. The worry is that there is still no solution to these farm fires. What is it all about? It is all about the burning of agricultural stubble, what we in Hindi is known as parali. There have been lots of solutions which have been looked at. A lot of people have suggested there is a technology way forward to deal with this situation. For example, if there is a system where this agricultural stubble is actually collected and it is put and regenerated into biomass, then part of India's electricity needs will actually come out of that. But the infrastructure required, the plants which are required, and the expenses that are required to implement this have been something which the state government or the center have not been willing to work at in order to change the lives of millions of people on the ground. We've been talking about this at NDTV for more than a decade. I have been doing shows on this for more than a decade. And one of the reasons why I suspect people just don't care is because you have a couple of days, 4 to 5, maybe a week of these extreme fire events and fire in Punjab and in Haryana linked to forest fire, to farm fires, and then they go away, and out of sight is out of mind. So nothing really gets done. But there is now, and this is really the reason we are talking about this, a statistical link between air pollution and fatalities. The air around us is actually killing us. In the national capital region, you actually live for between 10 to 12 years less if you breathe in this air as opposed to elsewhere when the air is not as toxic as what it is over here. So we are living less. Now, it's not an option that people have to move out of the national capital. Most people don't have access to air purifiers either. So this is killing us. It's not an election theme. And some would suggest that if it's not an election theme, if it's not people in the country who hold various parties accountable for the quality of the air around them, right, then nothing is going to change. For the moment, we will continue to breathe this. And when I speak to experts and say, is this going to change in my lifetime? Many are cynical and say, you know what, Vishnu, perhaps it won't. But it's our job as journalists to report this. And as long as I do this, I promise each and every year, I will try my best to report the reality of farm fires across India, in addition, of course, to the entire air pollution story.